Was going to be the downtime for the Texans before camp, but they're at the very top of the news for all the wrong reasons. It is the locker room. I am Landry Locker. You can see me here throughout the week, also on SNL at 4 o'clock. This is an interesting one. Jimmie Ward arrested facing felony family violence charge per Aaron Wilson and others. According to the report, he was arrested at 5:38 a.m. in Montgomery County, Texas. He's facing a felony assault charge, according to the Montgomery jail website, for an alleged family violence incident. This was the mugshot that Aaron Wilson tracked down. Jimmie Ward, an interesting part of the Texans for a number of reasons. The Texans have actually released a statement. They said the following, quote, "We are aware of the report involving Jimmie Ward. We're gathering information and have no further comment at this time." Anytime a player gets arrested, it's big news. But in this one's got to hit DeMeco Ryans really, really hard. And I'm not sitting here acting like DeMeco Ryans is some sort of victim. Obviously, there's an alleged victim here. And that's where the majority of the relevant concern is. But we do cover the Texans, and we do cover people. And few people, and we've said this multiple times. We'll hear from DeMeco Ryans in a sec when I asked him about Jimmie Ward about a month ago. But from a personal standpoint, DeMeco Ryans started out in San Francisco. Jimmie Ward was in San Francisco. They had multiple roles. They had their roles changed. DeMeco started as a quality control guy. He became the defensive coordinator. Jimmie Ward, he was moving all over the place from safety to nickel, all over. And as soon as DeMeco Ryans got his first head coaching job with the Texans, Jimmie Ward went with him to Houston. And the deal was he was going to play safety and he wouldn't have to play nickel. Last year when Jalen Petrie went down, Jimmie Ward decided that he was going to do what was best for the team and for his guy DeMeco, and he went and played nickel. And the Texans, surprisingly to many, they gave Jimmie Ward a contract extension. And despite the fact it seems like there's a lot of depth at safety, and it seems like Jimmie Ward cannot stay on the field, and maybe his best play is behind him, I think as far as being a reserve safety and a guy that DeMeco Ryans trusts, admires, and respects a lot, Jimmie Ward as a super sub added an elite element of depth, and he still might. We don't know how this is going to play out, but he added an elite element of depth as well as a guy that DeMeco Ryans has been through that much with and knows what DeMeco Ryans wants. I asked DeMeco about Jimmie Ward, and you can just kind of see how he lights up when he speaks about him. This was DeMeco Ryans a month ago talking about what he envisioned for Jimmie Ward as he rehabbed and tried to get back on the football field.
Jimmie's doing fine. Jimmie's on the road to recovery as well. He's doing fine. He's out of his boot now. He's starting to get back into running a little bit, so he's in a good spot. And Jimmie is a great football player. I love Jimmie. I love how he plays the game. And again, same whenever Jimmie is ready. I know Jimmie can help our football team win games. We saw him make game-changing plays for us, big-time plays and big moments. And whenever he's out there, he'll do it. He's a football player. So what I love about him, he's played multiple spots in the defense. So I'm excited to see just whenever he's ready, it doesn't hurt to have a lot of good safeties on your team.
Yeah, and a guy who knows what you like and what you expect and all that. So from a personal standpoint, Jimmie Ward and DeMeco Ryans, they have a bond when it comes to football life, multiple roles, multiple destinations that it's undeniable. So it's got to be weird for DeMeco Ryans as you break things up yesterday at minicamp, and you have the 40 days off between that and training camp. You tell your guys, and Jimmie Ward was still rehabbing, so he wasn't there. But you tell your guys, I'm sure, because they spent some extra time together. Guys, get your bodies right, get your mind right, stay out of trouble. Always remember that you are a professional, blah, 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 blah. And we'll see you in July at training camp. Ready, break. And then hours later, the guy that you trust most, that's supposed to be one of your culture guys that has been in multiple roles with you, that you're still giving a role to, despite the fact some could argue there's diminishing skills. This happens regardless of what the circumstances were, what the results were, what the investigation shows. This has to be a tough one for DeMeco Ryans that I don't know that he really envisioned. So that's the personal standpoint. This one's got to hit extra hard for DeMeco. From a legal standpoint, we obviously let this play out. We've covered some crazy stuff around here, and we always let the legal stuff play out while acknowledging the football perspective, because obviously myself, Cody, we cover the football squad. But from a legal standpoint, you let this play out. You see what happens. You do wonder how the Texans handle this. They always emphasize they want the right kind of guy. Some teams let it play out. Some teams are looser than others. We did see the Texans. They worked out Damon Arnett the other day, which they probably wouldn't have done a few years ago. So they're willing to give second chances. Are they willing to do it in this instance? Are they going to let it play out, or are they not going to let it play out? And this is a guy that DeMeco Ryans knows very well. He's always spoken highly of, and now this happens. It's got to be an extra element there. But from a legal standpoint, obviously, you let this play out one way or another. From a football standpoint, safety was one of the more intriguing positions, in large part because of depth. You traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who, by the way, PFF ranked C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Take that with a grain of salt, especially when they're ranking DBs. But he was the 13th best safety in football last year. We've heard from Kalen Bullock going into year 2. You have him. Jalen Petrie was actually a top 25 safety on PFF as well in his nickel role. And you also drafted Jalen Reed out of Penn State, who kind of does some nickel things. And you also have MJ Stewart, who they like a lot. So you have a lot of depth at safety. PFF actually had Jimmie Ward ranked as the 19th best safety. In 5 of the last 6 seasons, he's been in the top 20. So they actually think he had a really good season. A lot of people kind of questioned why the contract was given to Jimmie Ward, but that ship has kind of sailed because they did it, and he was going to be a part of the team, at least according to DeMeco Ryans. And quite frankly, the role he would have played would have been an extreme role of luxury for the Texans. Still might happen, but you're talking about a guy who was one of the best nickelbacks in the league 4 years ago. Did a really good job at nickel, filling in for Jalen Petrie last year. He had the immediate pick 6. They kind of missed him against the Kansas City Chiefs. You kind of saw Travis Kelce get loose, and now you add C.J. Gardner-Johnson and that element, and Jimmie Ward having the advantage of knowing what DeMeco likes ahead of all these other guys. From a football standpoint, you have a lot of depth at safety, but this was going to be an area of luxury for the Texans, and we'll see what happens. They say that they're aware of it. We don't know how it is going to play out, but man, it had to have been hard for DeMeco Ryans. The arrest happened at about 5:30. I'm not sure when he figured out, but this one had to hit really, really hard, given how long that DeMeco Ryans and Jimmie Ward have had a relationship, which is actually the entire duration of DeMeco Ryans' time coaching from San Francisco to here. Jimmie Ward has been in the same building as him. So we'll see what happens. We'll let it play out. From a football perspective, there's a lot of impact. We thought this was going to be the downtime. Texans at the top of the news for all the wrong reasons. This is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. I'll be on KPRC TV later on today with Cody Stutes. SNL going to be in the building. We'll give you the details on that. We'll be live at 4 as we are throughout the week. We'll also be live at 10:30, and we're always going to be on the scene. Subscribe, like, right along. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, no matter what we're covering, we're all in it together. Appreciate y'all for coming.